Hello everyone, this is Enzo Eigen of the Alliance for Loki, and this is some more videos. This is War 6 and 7 of this season. I just want to make a video now because we have pretty interesting fights here. And so this first fight is, this is War 6 I believe, and it's against a Magneto mini boss. And so it's on node 55. And here I'm just waiting for Carl to clear me, and then I'll go do this fight. And so the reason why he's placed here is because he is he's stun immune, or actually he has limber, so he becomes stun immune pretty quick. And I fought him several times, and of course, so you want to bait out his heavy, but he puts an unstoppable on with his heavy, and that's always a little scary. And so that's why I use Captain America Infinity War, because I can of course nullify his unstoppable buff with Captain America Infinity War's kinetic charges. So here you can see I start the fight and I get a kinetic charge pretty quick, so you get about, it's 50% chance per blocked hit, and that gives me the kinetic charge, which as you see there takes away the unstoppable. So that's really all this fight is about. The other thing that's tricky about this fight is there's the brute force is on this fight, and so brute force is always a little deadly because when I first did this fight, this is actually the third time I've done this mini boss, the brute force ended up doing a lot of damage. I mean, I think it will kill you over 60 seconds. I think it's like 1% of your health per second or something like that, and so it's really difficult. And so you can see exactly here, there's the brute force timer ticking down. And when it expires, I start taking damage, and the damage is big. I mean, you'll see here click. It's what is it, about 1,000, a little over 1,000 per click. There it is. There's degen 1,008. So I put on an invulnerability boost just because I wanted to play really aggressive. Like, that was the problem when I didn't have the boost on, is I was trying to bait out the SP1 all the time, and just all that waiting around caused me to take all this degen damage. So I'm just going to go fast, like try to bait them out when I can, but I'm also not too worried about pulling an SP, having him do an SP3, because then I'll just absorb it with my indestructible. Here, notice I throw the Fury right before I do my special. So this is very intentional because it gives me that little passive Fury, allows me to do my SP3. I both a 200% and a plus 12% damage boost, and does a good bit of damage, almost 20%. And I'm just right back to it. And so that invulnerability boost is so nice, just blocking his SP2. And of course, Captain America Infinity War is amazing because he has such high block proficiency. So this fight is going very well. And yeah, I'm almost to the end. Luckily, he throws an SP1, just blocking it. That one it can't counteract like you can SP2, but that's fine. Have plenty kinetic charges, not taking too much damage. Get to another SP3. I was hoping this would kill him, to be honest, but of course it doesn't. I'm always cursed by having like the few percentages left at the end of the fight, and so the fight keeps on going, but it's fine. I feel very under control here, and I managed to finish it. So while it's a good place for Magneto, I've gotten really used to this fight and feel very comfortable with it. Always scary, these mini boss fights, but I'm happy to survive. That was my first mini boss of the season. So that was War 6, and as I said, I'm just sort of picking selected fights, and now we're going to move over to War 7. And so this War 7 is against New Nation coming up, and it was actually a really intense war, just because we were trying to finish in top 3, and they were like right next to us. So here I am on path 4, and I'm fighting Airwalker and Immortal Hulk, and I put both of these fights on just because they're sort of really interesting fights. And so at first I was supposed to take Man-Thing against this Airwalker, but my Man-Thing's on defense, so Taters was like, oh, take Thing instead, and oh, I'm so happy I did. Thing ends up being the absolute perfect choice for this fight. So I go ahead and put an invulnerability boost on. I actually had an extra one from the deal, and so I have plenty. And so this fight, I'm actually a little like uncertain about this whole fight. Airwalker doesn't bother me too much, but he is on this node that if he gets 3 debuffs, he goes unblockable. And so he has these Dark Tide counters. You see it counting down there, and then when it expires, it puts a debuff on you. And so that's a little scary, because when he gets 3 of those, it's going to be unblockable, so I'm worried about that. And so, of course, doing my fights, and you can see it does disappear every now and then. And the reason why it disappears, there's 2 reasons. One, if I nullify his power cosmic, I believe. But the other reason is when I gain a bar of power, you can see right there that actually purifies one. So it's a pretty pretty strange mechanic and a lot going on in this fight, a lot to keep track of, but you know, I'm just hopeful to do my best. And so here I am fighting. Everything's okay, nothing really to worry about. Got my rock stacks up, which is great, which means I'm going to also be building Furies. Here I miss the SP3, and look what happens. So when he hits you with the SP3, he puts a debuff on you plus another debuff for any buffs he has. Again, really confusing, plus a stun. So he's unstoppable now. Yikes. And so that's unblockable. So I feel like, oh my god, I might be about to die. But the amazing thing about Thing is he has his protection. So he procced his protection. He's also unstoppable too. So like the unblockable almost doesn't seem to affect me. It's weird. It doesn't seem like his specials are unblockable too. I can't actually figure out all the mechanics going on here. It's just so much. So he's unblockable now. I'm trying to bait out his SP2 just because I just want to have that before he gets to an SP3. I actually don't even know if he can throw the SP3 because he hasn't been in enough fights. Such a strange character. Okay, but here he throws the SP2, and watch what happens. He should be unblockable, but I'm just holding my block. I figure I'll just eat it, and so I hold my block. I think because I'm unstoppable I can block, and it does a 5,000 points of damage. So this big SP2 is essentially meaningless. I go ahead and decide to like attack him and throw my SP3 just to get myself out of the away from the wall and to start doing some big damage. And so, you know, here the fight, I mean, he hasn't taken that much damage, but things turn pretty quick when I throw this SP3. So now I'm unblockable, he's unblockable, everyone's unblockable. I'm just going down and figure, okay, I'm gonna do a bunch of damage here. I push him a little too close to his SP3. But the interesting thing is you see all those Dark Tides at 10, they become one passive one, which means, goodbye, he's unblockable. So he's lost his unblockable. I'm in one enraged, unstoppable Thing right now, and now I'm just pounding him. So now I don't know why I decided to start slow playing some. I should just go in, but again, trying to bait his SP2 just because it's so easy. I mean, you can just outrange it. And again, I thought I could kill him with the SP3, but I don't. And yeah, just finish off the fight. But oh man, look at this. I mean, I took so many hits, and yet I took so little damage. Thing, such a cool champion. I mean, sometimes he's just like amazing in the way you can use him, but he's very ingenious. But look at the number of hits I took in this fight. 9, I guess that's not terrible, but and I did have the indestructible boost on. Okay, so this is fight 2 against Immortal Hulk. You know, I played him on Cavalier difficulty. Again, I'm worried. I just really hadn't played him much, but go ahead and go in with Warlock. That's what Taters had instructed me to do. And Tater said just continually heavy him. Okay, so I was like, fine, I'll just keep on heavying him. I don't really like playing only with heavies just because, one, you have to get the parry, make sure it sticks, and do the heavies. It's just sort of slow, tedious play, and I feel like it's easy to make a mistake. I put on the infection. So what I was worried about Hulk is, like, I know he becomes immortal and can regen everything when he has his when he gets to 0 health. So I'm just waiting for that to happen and him to be unblockable for, you know, like the whatever it lasts, the 10 seconds that it lasts, that he has that immortality. I don't think my infections will stop that, because when I read his descriptions, it says that his regen can't be adjusted. So I don't know, a lot going on with this fight with infections, his ability, and I'm just waiting for the second round. Here I get smacked, and luckily my indestructible kicks in, so saves me any damage, but I'm not too worried. I'm getting down toward the end, and I'm like, okay, well, here comes the immortality, and so I was getting ready for it, and he dies from the bleed, and then he just dies. There's no immortality, so I'm just shocked. I have no idea what happened. Super happy, but maybe because of the bleeds he doesn't regen. Maybe it has to be a hit that he becomes immortal on. Maybe because of the infections. I still to this day have no idea why I won it so easily. So, but I did, and that continues my my one death season, which I'm pretty happy about. Though, oh, that one death still haunts me. So this was New Nation, incredible battle. They beat us 5-2. Oh, such an amazing war. Congratulations to New Nations. They are definitely an amazing alliance, and I think we're out the top 3 runnings now. We just have to aim for Masters, but enjoyed these fights, enjoyed all these new cool fights, and having a great time in war this season. So hopefully I'll make a few more war videos before it finishes, and you can look forward to seeing those hopefully soon. So thank you for watching. Bye-bye.